Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Buddy and Stephanie here from the Denman Homestead, and we are back.
We are back.
We are back. Now, I know
It's going to be confusing.
from the videos, this video was to clear up confusion, but it may cause some. We'll see. I know all the videos that you've seen recently, like in the last week, or I guess probably in the last few days, have been our videos leading up to the trip, which we had set to release because we really didn't want to be working on the road, so we could just, enjoy the vacation. So we got all those videos scheduled, and we are now back from our trip to Tennessee. So the videos that you'll get to see for the next week are all of our adventures in Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is where we went. It was awesome. I had a really, really good time. What about you, babe?
Yeah. It was an adventure for sure. It's always nice to take trips with the kids during the summer, but especially because it's Buddy's birthday right around July 4th, it makes it even extra special. So spending a summer trip with the kids, plus celebrating Buddy's birthday on the road in a cool new place was, it's always a treat. So we really had a great time.
Yeah.
We did have some hiccups.
A couple of hiccups. Oh, speaking of my birthday, look at this shirt. Steph got it for me for my birthday. Armed robbery. That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's right up my alley.
It is. I may roll my eyes at him and his dad jokes, but deep down inside.
She feeds it. She feeds the beast.
They are funny.
Oh, I need to get my paper of all the things that I had originally planned.
You have a paper?
Well, my planning paper.
It's a planning paper. I feel so sorry for our mama bird. We have a mama bird that made a nest in our front door wreath. And the other day I opened the door and she flew out in my face. She was not happy. Babe, be careful.
She's not in there.
For her babies.
They might be flying around now. Alright. So, Steph.
Look at you.
My notes. Alright. Steph has been super busy lately. She has pretty much single-handedly launched the website and launched the blog post, wrote the planting guides, while continuing to record videos and do real estate.
And the merch.
And the merch, and designing the merch. So she just asked if there was any way that I could kind of take the reins on this trip, which is something I don't normally ever do. She gets everything kind of planned out. And we don't plan a whole bunch on our trips, but at least the stays of where we're going to be. So
Yeah.
I said, aye, Captain, and I took it over. And I called, I booked all the stops. Most of them were great. One of them was horrible. Well, part of one of them was horrible. But anyway, I made a list of all the top attractions that were listed on our poll. We did, the poll in the community tab asking everyone to vote on where we would go to on our family vacation this year. And Tennessee beat everyone else, beat the other two states that we were going to go visit. And so many people said Chattanooga. And there was a lot of things that were mentioned, like Dolly World and things like that were outside of Chattanooga. Dollywood, sorry. That were outside of Chattanooga. But my goal was to try and stick to Chattanooga. And there was just so much stuff that you guys recommended for us in Chattanooga that I literally made a list of a whole bunch of them. And I had to mark out ones that I knew we weren't going to make, and then see some of them that I didn't even mark out we still did not make.
Yeah.
Because we just shoved a bunch of stuff into this trip. But we always say at the end, like, if we didn't get to do everything we wanted to do, and it's a place that we really love, that just means that we get to go back.
Yeah.
Right? Which, we're going to go back.
Oh, for sure.
Chattanooga was amazing.
Ugh.
Okay, so let's start with number 1, the Tennessee Aquarium.
Oh.
Or the Chattanooga Aquarium, Tennessee Aquarium. Did not get to do it. There was one day that we thought it would be rainy, and we thought maybe it would be the perfect day to do the aquarium. But then, like, pretty much every day we were there, the little rain showers just passed in like 30 minutes, and then it was just bright, sunny, beautiful day.
Yeah.
So we did not get to do the aquarium. Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum. We did get to do this one, and it was awesome. And we did the tea party.
Oh my gosh.
There was a little bonus that you could do. You could have a tea party, and man, that was cool.
That was so cool.
We're at the top of the train station, kind of looking down where all the train cars are, and they set it up like an old, like, 1900s tea room. It was awesome.
Yeah, different teacups, different types of china. We got to try different types of teas. They had like scones and croissants and like different jams and.
We're not going to give away too much information because you're going to get to see all this.
Oh yeah, okay. But
All
anyway, Alora was like a tea party. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, she loved it. Number 4, Ruby Falls. This one was kind of sad. We did not get to go to Ruby Falls. We did do some caverns. We did have we went to the Raccoon Mountain Caverns, which were really cool. But we did not get to do Ruby Falls. It was one of those things where I wanted to try and fit it in on my birthday, because my birthday was a jam-packed day, and we just ran out of time.
But that's one we want to go back and do.
Yeah. The Southern Belle Riverboat. We did that one. That was cool. That was a really cool experience. We had, like, they gave us a bottle of wine, these personalized wine glasses that we could take home with us, and a charcuterie board and all that cool stuff. So that was fun. Coolidge Park we did not get to go to. The Art District we didn't go to. The Art District, I didn't really know if the kids were going to enjoy that or not. Seemed like more of an adult thing. Lookout Mountain Incline Railway. We did do that one, and that one was cool. And that one gets steep. Like, you're going up this mountain, and it's just like you're just riding along all nice and peaceful, and then all of a sudden
Then your ears pop.
Yeah, your ears start popping, and you're just straight up. That was cool. It was a cool experience. One of the things that we did on the top of Lookout Mountain, once we got up there, that was not on the list, was we watched over by the, I think it was called Point Park. Is that what it's called? I think it was called Point Park, where the
Battlefield?
Where the battlefield was. We watched a video, but it was more than a video.
It was a diorama.
Yeah, as a diorama, had this whole build out of like the whole Tennessee Valley, and while you're watching the story of how this Battle of Chattanooga and Lookout Mountain and all these different things took place, you're seeing the little.
You'll see it in the video.
Yeah, you're seeing the diorama like light up and move around. It's super cool. Chattanooga Choo Choo Hotel, we did not do that one. The Chattanooga Battlegrounds, so we did that, I think, unless there's something different. I know there was something called Chickamauga, and I don't think we saw that, but we did do like the Point Park, pretty sure that's correct, battleground thing. The Tennessee Riverwalk, we hung out on the Tennessee Riverwalk after our riverboat tour.
That was really nice.
It was very, very nice. We were hoping to see a fireworks show because our riverboat tour was on July 4th, and there was a bunch of people out there on the Riverwalk waiting, and then one of the ladies walked up and told us that they had and they were doing something else. Instead of the river fireworks show, they were doing something downtown.
Like a light show.
Yeah. So we still got to see fireworks that random people were doing on the other side of the river, but it wasn't the big Chattanooga show. They were doing something else downtown. So we didn't get to see that, but we did get to walk and experience and have fun along the river walk, and that was really cool.
It was super clean. That was one thing I was really impressed with Chattanooga. I felt like the places that we went to anyway and experienced, everything was clean, manicured well taken care of.
Yeah.
The people were friendly. We didn't encounter anyone rude or hateful. Everyone was super nice.
Really nice.
Yeah, and go ahead.
The duck boat tours.
Oh, yes.
That was one that we saw, but we didn't do it because we were doing the riverboat tour.
Yeah.
The duck boat tours were cool, though, because you drive them around on land, and then they just whoosh off into the water and take you in the water. And then I talked about it a little bit, but the Raccoon Mountain cavern tours that we did, the Raccoon Mountain Caverns, that was really neat because they lit the caverns up in all these really pretty colors, and you got to go on the tour and see all the cool things. There was one thing that no cavern or hardly any caverns have in it, and it was called a shield.
Yeah, there's only 8 caverns known out of. He said there's over 8,000 caverns in Tennessee alone, but only 8 known caverns ever have this one formation, and it was in the one that we were able to see. So I look forward to showing you this video. The cavern tour I think is going to be really special because I want to take you. You're going to go on the cavern tour with us, so you'll be seeing everything that we get to see, experience everything we get to experience, and it was a peaceful.
Did you record the pitch black?
I don't know if I recorded the pitch black.
There's the one moment, which we have caves in Texas.
No, I didn't, because I can remember putting my hands in front of my face,
right.
and I wasn't.
think he told us to put our phones away too, just so there wasn't any other light.
Yes, yeah.
And we didn't bring the camera in on that one because we weren't sure about photography rules in the cavern, but then when he told us we could use our phones, so Steph recorded that one on a cell phone. But there was one moment, which there's a bunch of caves, some of them in Texas will do this too, these caverns. But you get to that moment where it's like, all right, now we're going to turn off the light so you can see how dark it is in here. And every time I experience that, it blows me away. Because
it makes me nervous.
You are in darkness, I don't know. Yeah. It's as dark as it can be.
You can't
There's
see
literally no light.
Your hand an inch away from your face. You can't see it. There's no light. Crazy.
And then the last one that was on the list, which I think ended up being one of our favorite ones, was Rock City.
Rock City!
And we bought a birdhouse.
Yeah, and a gnome.
And a gnome. We got a Rock City gnome. Yeah.
It's already in my garden.
If you've ever been to the area, or if you're from the area, you probably already know that these Sea Rock City birdhouses are everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Every single thing that we went to had one of these birdhouses or several of these birdhouses just hanging there. So when we got to actual Rock City, we had to get one. Plus, we have a bird living in our door. Did you already tell them that?
Kind of.
There's a bird living in the wreath of our door right now, so we figured maybe not a bad idea to have a birdhouse anyway. This is a 6 birdhouse.
You know, I have several bird feeders. I don't have any bird houses, so this is our first birdhouse.
So Rock City was so cool.
So cool.
So cool.
And I wish we would have gotten there earlier in the day because they had closed down.
The cafe's 7.
The cafe wasn't open. The wine tasting wasn't open. A few of the little gift shops weren't open, but we still got to tour. We still got to go through the tour of Rock City, and so neat. Such a neat. I told Buddy, Rock City not only is a cool place to bring your kids, but Rock City is such a cool place that he and I could spend the day, just a day date, just going and taking our time. Because the kids, of course, they're like, oh, they're like squirrel, right? So they're like want to run out and go look over this thing and run look at this thing, but we want to
Yeah,
like
and when
stop.
you're a million feet up in the air at Rock City and your kids just want to take off every single 2 seconds and they're turning a bend around a balanced rock or off the side of a cliff or a waterfall or something, like
and that's all there.
Geez, there were some points at the strip we had to be like, you have got to stay by us. Like, this is sudden death if you turn too fast.
Not to scare you away from going because it's so safe, but
yeah, it's safe. Just it makes you nervous when little kids run around, I guess. But and then there were some points, like I'm telling you guys, I don't believe that I have a fear of heights, but when you're over on like Lover's Leap and stuff up at the top of Rock City, when you look down, it's not a mountain. It's not a gradual slope. It's a cliff. And my stomach turned a couple of times. I looked over and I was like, whoa, like I just felt all the turning inside of me because you are so high up.
Yeah. It's funny because you didn't even make it to the edge at one point. You just walked kind of near it and you're like, I can't.
Yeah, I was like, no, it was making my stomach turn.
Yeah.
But man, was Rock City so awesome. And the amount of you guys that recommended Rock City to us, now I know why.
Yeah.
Because it is one of those things where you cannot go to Tennessee or especially to Chattanooga and just not see. It is so amazing, and the work they have put into it to add the exhibits that they have, they're just so awesome.
Yeah. And again, we're going to take you through this week with us on our journey and and everything that we've done. So you're going to be able to see everything that we got to see and experience and more. We got to stay at a really cool RV spot.
Well, let's go over locations now.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about locations. First location. I've blanked the name out for. My mind is not remembering. Probably trying to shut it out.
I have it. Do you want to name it?
Valley Lodge.
No, don't say anything if it's not the thing.
Holiday Travel Park. Chattanooga Holiday Travel Park, Chattanooga.
Which was in Georgia.
Which was actually in Georgia, but
yeah, it's holiday.
Chattanooga is like you drive like 3 minutes and you're in Georgia. So they ended up making it right, even though we kind of had to fight and argue a little bit. I got a little upset at one point.
A little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
You wanna?
But
expand on that, or?
Let's just say it wasn't my best moment because of the experience that I just went through, and I was basically getting told that we were not going to get a refund for the site that we had paid for that we essentially couldn't use because raw sewage was flowing out all over our campsite. I was told I wasn't going to get a full refund for that. And one of the things they said was that I could have, we couldn't hook up to water or anything like that. And they told me that we could have used the showers, even though they didn't give us the code to use the showers. And that was what kind of made me a little upset.
Well, back up. We got there 30 minutes after they closed, so they had our packet of information on the door taped to the office. And in that packet was supposed to be the Wi-Fi password, the code to the restrooms, the codes to the laundry facilities. None of that was in the packet. And we brought it the next morning to the front desk.
We found out later it's supposed to be a sticker that they stick to every packet for after-hours check-ins. Yeah. And the only reason we were after hours, too, is because we didn't realize that the second you get to Chattanooga, essentially you go into Eastern time.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a time change, or we would have gotten there tried to get there at the right time. But anyway, regardless, when we pulled into our site was overflowing with raw sewage from 500 different campers in our one site. And so
The kids couldn't go outside.
Yeah.
We couldn't hook up to anything.
And the dogs were walking through some stuff, and it was just...
It was bad.
There was no other empty sites we could move to. The sun was starting to set. We were in an unfamiliar town. We didn't really know where we could go. So we basically had to sit there and wait until the next morning because they had no emergency line to call. There was no one to contact.
And we were paying...
a lot of money.
Resort prices. They call this place a resort, right? Yeah. So we're paying resort prices, which is anywhere from $80 up a night. And I think this one was around $80 a night. And they don't even have an after hours number or something like.
Yeah.
It just really rubbed me the wrong way how this whole thing. Plus the pool was supposed to be open until 8, and it was 6:30, and they had locked it, and no one was there to let you in. There was no way to get in. Like, that was annoying.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was rough. And then the next day, she wants to tell me
they were not going to give us a full. They would give us only half of
half
one night stay because we had access to the bathrooms.
And I said, really?
And actually, what happened was I had to send Buddy outside for a timeout.
Yeah.
Because I could tell, being his wife, that things were about to go south for this lady. So I sent him outside so that I could deal.
I wasn't going to fight her or anything.
Of course you weren't going to fight her, but I didn't want you to, get your dad voice going on. So I just said,
I was starting to get into dad mode.
Dad voice, yeah. And so I just said, hey, go outside. And I finished up with the lady, and after several different phone calls to several different people, and after me showing proof on my phone of the poop all over our site, then they agreed that they would give us our 1 night out of 2 refund. So we did end up moving sites the next night.
And the new site was awesome. They moved us to a really nice little site.
On the main road.
On the main road,
yeah.
Had no issues. The pool was open until it was supposed to. We got to hang out in the pool.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying that they made it right. It was just, I still don't know how they call themselves a resort or charge the amount that they do, but.
Yeah. And the reason we would like to give you all this information is not to sound ungrateful or whatever. It is, we also want to give an honest review of places we've been and places we will never go back to. And unfortunately, due to our experience there, we won't go back. And I want it to be almost like a forewarning to others who are traveling that, hey, there's other great places maybe to check out, and maybe don't check out this one place.
Yeah, and I had a long conversation with the like, I don't know what you'd call him, the tech, like the groundskeeper, the guy who goes around and works on everything. And we had a really good conversation, and he even told me, he was like, man, I've been trying to tell them, like, for a while now that we've got issues with this and all this stuff. Like, he was very understanding. But I think we've been doing this for many years now, the RVing, and I told Steph that we've had some not great stays, like some things that weren't great at different places. But I told Steph that I literally think that we had, to me at least, our worst experience in an RV park or an RV resort with that experience. Like, just, there are no spaces to move to. We couldn't even, if we would have moved our RV to some other space, we would have been stealing a space from someone that hadn't showed up yet. Every single space in the park was taken, and the fact that you couldn't even call someone at an hour or an hour and a half after their office had shut down to just say, please help, there's raw sewage all over our campsite. That just, I thought...
Well,
really,
and another thing too we didn't add is, every time our AC kicked on...
It would suck in that smell.
It would suck in the septic smell all night long, and it was just a really...
So you had to turn your AC off if you didn't want to smell it. Just... It was rough.
Anyway, let's move on. That was our night 1.
So
but
what I was saying was that I told Steph I thought that I could honestly say this was my worst experience at an RV park. But then the next stay, I honestly think, was our best, at least my best, and probably the kids' best experience at an RV park, and that was the River Life.
Yes.
The River Life RV Resort.
On Chattanooga River.
Or
on the Tennessee River.
On the Tennessee River in Chattanooga, and man.
And that one didn't go as planned either. So we had some hiccups there, but their way of handling some unfortunate events, like the customer service, everything was night and day when it came to this park. So we were supposed to be, there's only very limited sites at this park. I think they only have 8 available at this park. So it's a very small, privately owned, it's someone's house, okay? And they've cleared out some spaces along the river for RVs. In our space,
washed out.
Well, they got so much rain that they were nervous that us getting down there would be hard for us to get back up in the gravel. So they accommodated us by letting us stay at the next door's Airbnb that they owned, their parking lot, basically. They're where the cars parked at, and we just had to run an extension cord and kind of modify our hookup that way. And I was kind of bummed out when I heard that we weren't going to actually be able to stay on the river, but when we got there, I was so thankful that we actually were staying where we stayed, because looking down, I was like, yikes.
There's like a steep downhill to get down to the river, so it was nice that we were kind of up top.
Yeah.
But when it comes to customer service, I think there's like multiple tiers you could have, between like horrible, bad, good, and then at the end you've got like family, right? And that is the style of like, that's how the owners, DeLon and Laura, that's how they run this RV resort spot. And like Steph said, their home is there.
Well, you know what really touched me that Laura said? She was like, because I've had conversations with Buddy before about maybe letting one day having something available for people to come and be available to like see the farm and stuff and have their RV here. But it makes us nervous with our little kids, and we were talking to Laura about that, and she said, we've had those same conversations before. We opened up our home to have RVers come, and she was like, but she said, I don't know if you guys are the praying type or if you pray at all, but she said, we pray for everyone who comes to this RV park. We pray. And she was like, so we pray that whoever's here is sent here, by God, or, just...
Yeah, she said she prayed us here.
Yeah, she was like, so if you're here, you were prayed here. You
That
were
was
supposed
awesome.
to be here. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that just made me feel so good to know that like she prayed for me to, like, for our family to be there, and they treated us like family, and we felt like family, and invited us down to the river at night to have like their bonfire that they do. And
y'all know me, I hit that river.
Oh,
right
yes.
off the bat.
The kids, 24, like, they were in the river.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to give away too much, because there was some pretty cool stuff that we did down at this river.
Oh, yeah.
But we spent some time down at the river and with their family, and...
stay tuned for that video.
Yeah.
But
so that was night 2,
we went
or
from,
stay 2.
That's what I was saying. We went from possibly the worst experience we'd ever had to possibly the best experience we'd ever had. And that was cool. I wish we could have stayed there longer, but I started booking these places kind of a little too late.
Yeah.
So they only had one space available for us, or one night available for us. But after that, we went to Raccoon Mountain Campground and Caverns.
That was cool.
Very cool. Like, they have a full-on cavern on the campground. You just walk to the shop and sign up for the tour and go take a tour right down the road, walking distance from your campsite.
And if you're camping with them, you get a discount on the cavern tour. So, like,
Yeah.
you can go there and tour the caverns without camping there. But if you're camping there, you also get a discount for the caverns, which I thought was pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. And everyone there was super nice. The facilities were super nice. The pool was awesome. The laundry room, like everything was just.
They had a full itinerary
really
on July 4th for the kids. So 2 o'clock, from 2 to 5, they had free snow cones for the kids. They had coloring activities, and if you did your activity, you turned it in, you got a prize, which Connor's wearing
Cool.
his.
Yeah, you actually got cool prizes. Sometimes
Yeah.
you turn your little color sheet in, you get, I don't know, a pack of crayons or something. But Connor got this awesome quartz necklace, like a quartz stone necklace,
Yeah.
and Alora got a collectible bag of all different types of gemstones. So like,
Yeah, it was neat.
super cool.
Yeah, very kid friendly, dog friendly. They had a dog enclosed area for the dogs, so they could stretch and run, and it was just a really nice park, and we definitely recommend Raccoon Mountain RV Park there.
Yeah. So that's what you have to expect on our channel for the next week, where we take you through all of our adventures in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I just want to thank everyone again who voted on our poll and recommended places for us, because this was all kind of designed by you guys. You put it all together for us and made my life easier since I had to piece it all, book it all.
Yeah, your recommendations were pretty cool.
So awesome. And we will be back because we kind of fell in love with Chattanooga a little bit. Definitely fell in love with the RV Life the River Life RV Resort. Want to go spend some more time there playing in the river. Mm-hmm. And that day, actually, when Steph told me to take over everything, she asked me one thing. She said, "Can you please just give me one day on the river to relax? No itinerary, nothing planned. I just want to hang out on the river." And I was like, "Amen. I want to do that. I would love to just have one day to hang out on the river."
And Buddy delivered, man. You did it. You knocked it. You found the ideal place for me.
Oh, you know what? We didn't even talk about the Belmont. We didn't talk about.
Well, I thought we were just doing Chattanooga.
Just in Chattanooga, yeah.
But yeah.
There are some places that we stayed to and from, which were also pretty cool, and you'll get to see those.
Yeah, our to and from destinations too. We'll add those in there.
So yeah, so stay tuned. Lots of cool stuff, lots of cool adventures coming up, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Yep.
Bye, guys.